Celebrity chef Rachael Ray and husband John Cusimano were married in an Italian castle, but this relationship isn't exactly a fairy tale. If you dig a bit deeper, you'll realize the high-profile marriage isn't as traditional as it appears. Here are some strange things about Rachael Ray and John Cusimano. Cusimano and Ray reportedly hit it off right away, but at first, she didn't think she had a shot. Cusimano told People magazine, "Rachael asked me if I cooked anything. She thought I would just say chicken parm or something boring, and I said, yeah, I made this tilapia with a tomatillo jalapeno cilantro reduction with a little bit of Negro Modelo beer. And she said, are you gay?" Meanwhile, Ray added, "I was going to hook him up with some of my gay friends, and then when he said he wasn't, I said, all right, I'm going to be eating some of that food, and we've been together ever since." In 2007, People asked Ray how she manages to make time for her husband while juggling such an insanely busy schedule as a celebrity chef and talk show host. Her answer? She doesn't. She told the mag, "I can't give a man an enormous amount of attention, and John is totally down with that. When men I have dated over the years whined about, 'Oh, you make no time for me. See ya, I just dump them. I don't need that pressure in my life.'" On her talk show, Ray explained that she and Cusimano were very independent people before they joined their lives together, and they've held on to that freedom since marrying.
He has his music, I love to cook, we're not on each other all the time.
You also won't catch Cusimano banging his utensils on the kitchen table, hollering that he wants food.
He doesn't care if he gets dinner at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
According to Ray, he's the least demanding person ever. By Hollywood standards, this marriage is considered a unicorn of sorts. Ray and Cusimano's union has almost surpassed 2 decades, and their affection for each other still seems red hot. So what's the key to their longevity? Date nights? Roses? Nope, it turns out a pinch of turbulence is their secret ingredient.
We're very volatile. My husband's an Italian, I'm an Italian. We blow up and then it's gone. We don't hold grudges with each other.
It sounds like friends may need to put on a suit of armor before dropping by the Ray Cusimano household. Back in 2007, drama was simmering as numerous publications piled on with gossip-filled stories about the couple's so-called rocky marriage, and Ray had to constantly play defense. She got fed up with all of the rumors and finally decided to address them during an episode of her television show. According to People, she told her audience, "Everybody gossips, but this stuff is hurting people's feelings who are in our families and friends of ours. They worry about us." The celebrity chef also encouraged her fans to stop purchasing tabloid magazines, saying, "The tabloids won't stop printing this junk until people stop buying it." Sure, plenty of celeb couples face scrutiny in the press, but Ray and Cusimano clearly felt like their circumstances had crossed a line. She added, "There's always someone that's going to be telling stories behind your back, but this is too much." In 2013, the National Enquirer claimed that Cusimano was seen at a swingers club in Manhattan without his wife. The salacious story alleged that Cusimano visited an establishment called Checkmate 6 times with a female escort. The club described itself as, quote, "an exclusive alternative lifestyle venue for couples and single ladies only," according to the Daily Mail. Once again, the couple was forced to fight back. A spokesperson for Ray told Fox News, "This is yet another pack of lies printed by the National Enquirer, who have been targeting John and Rachael for several years with no merit." Before they could even celebrate their 1-year wedding anniversary, the rumor mill was ablaze with cheating allegations when the National Enquirer alleged that Cusimano had engaged in a 5-year side relationship with a woman from Florida. And that wasn't all. The gossip rag also claimed there was a second woman whom Cusimano had paid to, quote, "satisfy his weird fetishes with acts too degrading to print." Yikes. And while reporting on Cusimano's alleged swingers club spotting in 2013, the National Enquirer attributed Ray's 37-pound weight gain to supposed issues in her marriage. A source cited by the outlet claimed, "She's been pigging out to cope with the stress." Whether this is a case of where there's smoke, there's fire, or simply a bunch of hogwash isn't clear. But these two continually hit back against the rumors, and Cusimano assured Ray he had been faithful, according to an insider who spoke to the Enquirer. So we're hoping for the best. Cusimano had to expect that this relationship would be a wild ride. For a man who usually displays a laid-back demeanor, Ray's Type A demeanor could be intense, but Cusimano once demonstrated an unorthodox way to take their relationship to the next level. Roughly 20 years ago, the couple hoped that an apartment they purchased in New York would be ready by the holidays. Ray wound up sobbing uncontrollably after discovering that this wouldn't be the case. Hoping to mitigate a full-scale Ray meltdown, Cusimano decided that that was the perfect time to propose. He recalled on an episode of Rachael, "I wanted her to stop crying, so I threw the ring at her head. It was a blue box. I'm not going to say where it came from. And she thought it was a key ring because we got this new apartment, and it wasn't. And then she screamed, and I said something which I thought at the time was very charming, but I have no idea what I said." That's either one of the worst proposals we've ever heard of, or one of the best, but it definitely doesn't feel normal. Birds of a feather don't always flock together, especially when it comes to sleep schedules. Rachael Ray often wakes up at the eye-popping hour of 3 a.m. and maintains irregular sleep habits even when she doesn't need to. She said in an interview with People, "I'm not very good at sleep. I never have been. Even when I was a little girl, my nickname was Little Hoot because I was a night owl." Ray once remarked that she's lucky to get 5 hours of sleep per night and has admitted she's hyperactive. She told CBS in 2006, "I love the feeling of, being in my sweats and my sneaks and running a ton of errands. I love that." Of course, it's also possible that Cusimano sabotages what little sleep she gets.
He snores and will not admit that he snores. And when I wake him up or even punch him to wake him up to try and get him to move, he refuses.
When the couple have a few differences to settle, they're the first to admit that they don't do it civilly. Ray told People, "When we are mad at each other, we scream. If John is being an asshole, I tell him. Then I feel better. And John does the same thing. We share a great sense of humor, which helps." Despite those occasional fallouts, Ray said the glue to their marriage is a genuine affection for each other. She shared, "We actually like each other, have a lot of the same interests, and find it sexy to share bad behavior, like staying up too late, eating the wrong foods, and listening to loud music, rap, opera, and any of our 3,000 records, wherever we are."